Finding a new job is stressful. But with Indeed, it doesn't have to be. Just fill out your Indeed profile with your skills, experience, and desired salary. The more you fill out, the better your matches will be. And hearing from hiring managers will be 2 times more likely. Relax. That's your Indeed profile sending opportunities your way. Indeed, the world can work better.
As a sports fan, I have to confess. Sometimes the game gets kind of boring. That's when I unfold my Samsung Galaxy Z Fold 7 and use multi-window viewing on its large screen. Boring game? I'm checking out my fantasy baseball league at the same time. Score still 1-0? I'm replying to emails in the other window, scoring points with the boss. Semifinals finally getting exciting? I'm buying tickets to the finals and booking my flights. Can your phone do that?
The new Galaxy Z Fold 7. Get yours at Samsung.com.
My cat Freddie loves to be brushed and cuddled. But stirring up his cat allergens meant sneezing and itchy eyes. Then I found Purina One Live Clear. It's cat food that reduced the major allergen and my suffering in as little as 21 days. Now, we feel closer than ever. If you have issues with cat allergens, you really need to try Purina One Live Clear.
Try new Purina One Live Clear today. Purina One, a difference from day one.
What? That's all right, man. So let's talk about what we were supposed to talk about last night.
What were we talking about last night?
What we were supposed to talk about last night. We got sidetracked because you wanted to talk about stupid shit.
What were we supposed to talk about last night? To be or not to be?
NPCs, simulation theory, and dead internet.
Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah. So, do we feel obliged to define these terms first? Should we do it? I feel like we should do it anyways, right? NPCs. Let's start off with sim theory, because I think that's the best place to start off with. Sim theory, aka the simulation theory, is something that we've covered multiple times here on the channel. We've actually had Rizwan Verk, who actually showed up on Joe Rogan. That was pretty cool to see him show up on Joe Rogan on the show, and talk to us about his book, The Simulation Hypothesis, which actually just had its second edition drop. Trying to get him to come back on and talk to us again. And he dives into a lot of evidence that he's uncovered. He's an MIT graduate and Stanford graduate. And he's done a lot of work in Silicon Valley on games. He's also done a lot of other work too, but this is just what, stuff that's specific to the simulation theory and his specialty within that. So he has uncovered a lot of evidence that points to us living within a simulation. Now, there are a ton of people out there that have done a lot of research into whether or not we live in a simulation. Nick Bostrom is another really big name when it comes to the entire encapsulation of the simulation theory. Basically, the gist is that everything around you is a simulation, and you yourself are a simulation. You live within a simulation. We are not reality prime, if you will, right? That's a good way to put it. Reality prime. from that, if you look at the definition of a simulation, you can compare that to something that we use, or most people use nowadays on a daily basis, a video game, okay, or a computer simulation. In a computer game or a computer simulation, there are these characters called NPCs, non-playable characters. This is another concept that we'll talk about today. NPCs are basically filler bodies within the simulation or video game that really just provide bodies. They're there to fill up space, to create a false sense of population, right?
Mm-hmm.
They are basically blank books in the form of human beings. Okay. They have very minimal language skills. They have very minimal mechanical skills, and they just kind of serve one purpose, and they do very little. NPCs, non-playable characters, basically soulless pawns, if you will.
Pre-programmed characters.
There you go. Right? Now, the last bit is probably the one that's most disconnected from these two terms, the dead internet theory. This I think is probably, this is pretty interesting. I mean, the other two are really interesting as well, but in its own way. Now, I don't remember exactly when this started. We haven't really dove into this in depth before. We've touched on it before in the show. But the gist is, I believe it was Reddit that this entire theory started on, but somewhere in the 90s, I believe, or maybe in the early 2000s, a study came out that found that somewhere upwards of 40 to 50% of all of interactions that happened on Reddit were done by bot accounts. That there was a script being played out by an unknown hand, by these bot accounts, that real people were falling victim to their manipulation. They would go onto these Reddit pages, post comments that were getting reactions from real people. Not only were they getting reactions from real people, but they were getting reactions from other bot accounts that were reacting to other bot accounts that were getting reactions from other bot accounts that were getting reactions from other bot accounts that were getting reactions from real people that were being reacted to from bot accounts that were then again getting reacted to from other bot accounts that were getting reacted to from other people. So there just started this whole thing of people reacting with fake internet accounts, but getting real feelings such as rage and aggression towards these fake accounts. Now, it's thought that on Reddit and other like websites, that these bot accounts can be anywhere upwards of 75 to 90% of all interactions. And that's including websites like X, Instagram, Reddit itself, Discord. A lot of these. Telegram, I think, is one that's really big right now for the dead internet.
It's not just the interactions, it also content creation on the internet.
Content creation, but it's the real concern about it is that now AI is becoming, we're starting to see the intelligent side of AI, right? And the concern is, how much is AI playing into this? And are we living a script that AI is writing through altercations that are happening through the dead internet that we're seeing played out in real life. Are people really pissed off in real life over things that they're seeing on the internet that are really just bot accounts that are pissed off about things that real people aren't even pissed off about?
I'm going to just say yes. And I'm also going to say I don't think it's the AI that's doing this, like by itself. I think nowadays, it's just what you have is a combination of things. There are bot farms, right? If you don't know about the bot farms, then you just haven't been paying attention, right? Because we dealt with this through like the last couple of elections with the Twitter files, all this stuff. Okay. There are literal bot farms where, whether it's NGOs or billionaires or whatever, right? They fund a small group of people to run and manage giant bot farms, literally like buildings, skyscrapers, just full of servers and computers just running bot accounts, right? That's a real thing. I think those setups are utilizing AI, especially in the content creation side of things, right? So if you ever scroll through YouTube to just find like random videos to watch, everybody's probably seen this by now. Half of your algorithm is you click on the video, the thumbnail's interesting, the caption's interesting. So you click on the video, and the next thing you know, you realize that it's an AI overdubbed voiceover. It's just a compilation of pictures and stock footage on the video. And, these videos just talk about whatever, and they'll have like 8 million views, right? That's one side of it. So there is like an active push to run these facilities, and what that's doing is it's clouding the information on the internet, in my opinion, right? Now, there are people behind that, so it's not like 100% dead internet situation, but it's like it's in there. You know what I mean? That's a big portion of it. The other part of the dead internet side is that the algorithms themselves are just what's the word? Like, kind of like what you were saying, like they're commenting on videos or posts, trying to stir up engagement. Now, the unfortunate thing is through all of the studies they've done over the last 20 years of us using smartphones and the internet and all this shit, the thing that gets the most engagement is negative stuff, right? Like, nobody ever comments about how awesome something was. They always comment about how pissed they are that red team do this or blue team do that or whatever the thing is, right? So that side of it, I believe, is unmanned. Call it AI, call it just the algorithm, whatever it is, that's what's happening. But yeah, probably 90% of all of the shit on the internet, content creation wise and interaction wise, is not actual people engaging. I'm gonna say 90%.
Yeah, it's pretty scary if you stop and think about it for a while, right? And you line up events, major events, right, with the rapid growth of technology, right? You see some of the really wild shit that's been going on as of recently, just current event wise. And you look at the parallel growth with technology. It's neck and neck, man. It's right there.
It's all designed to be distractions, in my opinion. Like, it's not, I don't think it necessarily has much to do with like simulation theory, right? As much as it has to do with just distractions. They don't want you to know the truth about pretty much anything. And the easiest way to cover up the truth, especially with the internet, is to just muddy the waters, to just have this, you open up a post on something that you find interesting and you see that there's 50,000 comments, and each one of those comments has 400 replies and likes and dislikes and all this stuff. It's just to kind of get because our attention spans have already been shortened drastically just since we've gotten smartphones, right? Which wasn't that long ago, 2009. So since 2009, our attention spans have plummeted.
Mm-hmm.
And nobody really takes the time to sift through like all the information about anything or all the comments about anything. But people are really quick to just react to the top comment or react to the top 3 comments, right? And then just move along. And that just, it's a snowball effect that happens. So now the next person that shows up on the video or whatever, you know, they see your human reaction mixed in with 87 bot reactions, and it, you know, it almost kind of like creates this want or need to be a part of something. So then people start chiming in, you know, and it's just, yeah, it's just a giant distraction game, I feel like.
So I brought up, I just went to Grok, right? And I said, hey, Grok, what is the dead internet theory? And I thought it'd be interesting to just kind of read off what Grok defines it as.
Babe, can you turn it up a little bit?
You cool with that?
Yeah. I did that
right.
too, by the way.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
So I think it's funny that it starts off with our favorite term, right? And this will tell you right now that there's truth to it. The dead internet theory is a conspiracy theory. Right there. Right? What's the difference between a conspiracy theory and the truth? Just a little bit of time. The dead internet theory is a conspiracy theory that suggests the internet as we know it has been largely overtaken by bots, artificial intelligence, and automated systems, resulting in a significant decline in genuine human interaction online. According to this theory, much of the content, engagement, likes, comments, and shares, and even user accounts on social media platforms and websites are generated by algorithms or bots rather than real people. The theory posits that this shift began around the mid-2010s and has since made the internet feel quote-unquote dead or inauthentic, with human users being drowned out by automatic systems. Key points of the dead internet theory include bot dominance, manipulation of engagement, decline in organic content, corporate and government control, erosion of human connection. Yeah, that pretty much sums it up, right? The gist is,
because when I asked Grok, it didn't say it was a conspiracy theory.
Really?
Nope.
Well, it knows your flavor.
It does.
It does.
It's interesting how you get like personalized results, and that's not the first time that's happened. You and I have done this before, where you've searched something, and I searched the same thing on Grok.
Yep.
Same exact words, same exact phrasing, and like we get slightly different.
Yeah.
You know.
That's hilarious.
It is pretty funny.
It's like that's great. Shit. Sorry. Still feeling a little under the weather, but feeling a little bit better. I think it's hard to say that there's no truth to this, because it doesn't matter what social media you go on, or any website for that matter, right? If you're dealing with a website with profiles, shit, you can go to Amazon and look at some of the reviews that are on there, and you're like, what the fuck? Who's writing some of this shit? Right? Like, some of this shit is just the most generic, crappy reviews, like copy and pasted bullshit. Like, okay, you know, some people on here are probably paid per review, probably, but this is obviously a picture of, you know, somebody off of Google, right? And those are pictures of people off Google on Facebook that are flooding, you know, people's inboxes with spam messages and shit, right? I mean, I've got a spam folder on Facebook. I mean, I would believe that a lot of people do. And every once in a while, I open up that spam folder and it's full of disgusting shit, right? That are obviously bots, man. Same thing with X, right? Some of the interactions that happen on posts. X will literally filter those things out. They'll put them, like, you open up the comment section on X and you'll scroll all the way down to the comments all the way down, and it'll filter them out at the bottom and say, hey, there's some questionable comments down here. Do you want to see them anyways? Yes. You look at them and most of those are going to be bot comments, right? And you'd be surprised how many are down there sometimes.
The real question is why? And I have two answers for the why. The first answer is pretty easy to understand. As social media or really any websites or whatever started to gain popularity, especially with the advent of the smartphone, it became extremely lucrative for the CEOs of these companies, Facebook, Twitter, whatever, right? It became extremely lucrative for them to make it appear as if they had X amount of users.
Not all meals are created equal. For instance, breakfast has the spicy egg McMuffin for a limited time, and lunch doesn't. McDonald's breakfast comes first. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
This episode is brought to you by Nespresso Virtuo Coffee Machines. Ready to enjoy the bold flavors of barista-quality Nespresso iced coffee at home? Simply fill a glass with ice and press the brew button on your Virtuo Pop machine to enjoy rich double espressos roasted to stand up even when chilled. Refreshingly bold iced coffee. Refreshingly easy to make at home. Visit Nespresso.com to shop now.
Jif peanut butter. It's that jiffing good, it doesn't really need advertising. So instead, enjoy the calming sounds of the ocean. Jif. Ooh, it's that jiffing good. Get your Jif at Jif.com.
Right? The more users, the more lucrative, especially in the advertising age that we live in right now. Mm-hmm. So if I have a platform, let's use X for an example. If I have a platform and there's, 2 billion people using this platform, and I go to the advertisers and I say, hey, look, there's 2 billion people here. Like, let's work out how much per view, I'm going to make, and then the content creators are going to make as well, right? And because there's 2 billion people on this platform, the advertisers are way more inclined to give more money because they're going to get more views on their ads and in turn potentially sell more of whatever they're selling, right?
So you're thinking that they're planted there?
Yeah, well, they are. What my example with X, I did that on purpose because that's exactly what happened. When Elon bought X, that was one of the big scandals, was they went through and they started looking at how many of the X user accounts were bot accounts, and it was a huge percentage, right? And that's why. So that's like base layer reality reason for the dead internet, right? Up the numbers, get more money. You want to get into a little bit more of a woo answer of why, I'd say that they, right, the lizard people, they're very much interested in creating this idea of scarcity. There is not 8 billion people in the world. I wholeheartedly believe that the number that we have of human beings walking around on Earth is extremely inflated. I don't think there's 8 billion people. And the dead internet, the algorithms and the bots help to portray that there are that many people.
So I don't know about that, right? I can see where you're coming from. I think most of the population, but you got to take into account rural populations and low tech populations, right? That won't have access to this stuff.
I base this thought that there's not that many people. I used to drive a truck. I drove all over the country, lower 48. Okay. I went coast to coast every single day. All right. Well, it takes like 3 or 4 days, but you get what I'm saying, all day long. I'm telling you right now, bro, there's no way that there's 350 million people living in the United States. There is so much empty land. And even when I drove that truck through the densest populated areas in the country, New York, Chicago, LA, right? These places, right? I could tell you for sure that the number that they tell us, 20 million people live in LA. I don't think so, brother. Yeah, the traffic sucks. There's a lot of fucking people there, but not 20 million. That number is so vast. People don't realize it. You know what I mean?
I think you'd be surprised at how much a million people would look like from the sky. Do I think that there's 8 billion people on this planet? I'm going to be honest with you, man. I don't have that opinion. Do I agree with you that the United States is sparsely populated? Absolutely. And that is one thing that I have tried to explain to a lot of people, right? There's a reason why they're called flyover states, man. I've spent a decent amount of my early time in the Navy, the first 2 or 3 years, flying over from the East Coast to the West Coast multiple times in the first 2 or 3 years in C-130s, in NATOs, and in H-60 helicopters from Pax River, Maryland, or Norfolk, Virginia, over to Point Mugu, California, or Whidbey Island, Washington, right? Flying over states where you're not seeing shit from 20,000 feet in the sky, right? And I've got clear view. I mean, they're not passenger airlines. I mean, I've got a better view than I would on a 747, right? When you're going over the Rockies, man, it's wild. There's nothing there. When you're going over some of these Midwest states, there's nothing there. Shit, you'd be surprised. Like, even in spots of Virginia, West Virginia, Kentucky, spots of Ohio, like, there's a lot of space out there that a lot of people don't understand. Like, there's a lot of area outside of your hometown and cities that's just not taken up. So totally in agreement, right? I have a decent idea. I can't tell you that I know for sure what a million people look like from the sky. I have a decent idea what a million people look like from the sky. I can give you, I think when they say 20 million people live in LA, I think it's pretty close. I do.
See, the thing is like, you think you know what a million people looks like from the sky because you've been told, hey, look, there's a million people that live in this town or whatever. So you fly over it and you're like, oh, that's what a million people in a town looks like. But I don't think that there's a million people in that town. Not to say that there's no towns with a million people, right? I live in the greater Orlando area. There's definitely a million people running around for sure, right? Like, traffic's fucking crazy sometimes. There's a lot of people here. But like, that number, 1 million, it's a big ass number. Now, we've been desensitized to numbers, I think, right? When we think about like $1 million or a million people or a million anything, like, it's a lot, but we're like, it's not that many, right? Because we're also given numbers of billions and trillions and this type of thing, right? So we're desensitized to the idea of a million of anything. In fact, I'd argue that I would argue that every single person who listens to this episode, not a single one of them has ever held a million anything in their hands, right? So like, there's no way to like comprehend that number, really. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Yes and no.
So, I always go back to like the Georgia Guidestones thing, right? On the Georgia Guidestones, remember it said that they were going to maintain a population of 500 million globally, right? I would argue that that might actually be closer to the real number than 8 billion.
I don't know, man. I don't know. There would have to be some heavy duty fuckery.
80 to 90% of the internet being fake. There's no other way for us to, like conceivably see that many people. Like, we go online and we see all these infinite accounts and all this action that's happening on the internet. So it's kind of easy for us to be like, yeah, there's got to be billions of people. Look at all this shit that's happening on the internet all day long. But if you come to realize like, hey, like 90% of that is just fake. It's like,
yeah,
okay,
but
wait a minute.
Is that a direct representation of physical reality? I don't think so, man.
No. That's why I was saying I think that the dead internet bots are just like another way for them to kind of inflate the perception of how many people there are, right? I mean, like let's use for example like the Doge thing, right? They were going through and they found like all these people that were over 100 years old collecting Social Security, right?
Mm-hmm.
Some people were 200 years old. I think there was even somebody that was like 250, like from the start of the United States, right? It was a 250-year-old person just collecting Social Security, right? That to me is a good example. Like in those numbers, you've got thousands and thousands of people who just are either dead or like long since dead. Think about like the voting situation, right? There's been all this talk about like dead people voting, like double votes, triple votes, quadruple votes, all this stuff. The census, right? The way that they collect census data. I don't know. There's just a lot of fishy business there. I really don't think you'd be hard pressed to convince me that there's 8.5 billion people walking around, dude. Just from my own personal experience of driving around this country and seeing how empty it is.
Now, I could definitely get on board with there being less than 8 billion. 500,000. That's not enough.
500 million.
Well, 500 million. Sorry, it's still same. I don't think that's enough. I think you want to shave a bill or two off, maybe. Right? They're definitely counting dead people, for sure, 100%. I governments around the world, including ours, is corrupt as fuck, and they're inflating numbers to benefit certain programs for some shady business. Absolutely, 100%, dude, 100%. And numbers help causes. 100% agree with you there.
Yeah, and one of the ideas also for that, like one of the reasons of why would they do this? Could also be to hide the depopulation programs that are happening, right? So if they keep telling us every year, like, hey, the population numbers are going up or whatever, there's 8 billion people, like it's hard for us to think, hey, if there's 8 billion people, here's a good example. Just the other night, me and Crystal and Creamer, we looked it up. How many people go missing every year? Do you know the number of people who go missing just in the United States every year?
Fuck, actually, it's a shit ton.
How many was it, babe? 600,000 people just in the United States every year.
Yeah, I believe it.
And it said globally, millions, multiple millions of people globally go missing every year.
Yeah.
Right? 1 billion is 1,000 millions.
Yep.
Right? So according to the numbers, there's 8,000 million people in the world. If 1 million, 2, 3, 10 million people just go missing every year, that doesn't even put a dent. That's 0.0001% or whatever, right? Like, so there could be massive depopulation programs happening, and we just don't even realize it because they tell us there's 8 billion people. You see what I mean? So there's like a little...
Yeah. It doesn't look like a lot of people that are going missing. Yeah,
right.
No, absolutely. But the same thing, right? You also can inflate those numbers too. I'm not saying that there aren't 600,000 people going missing in the United States a year. There very well could be, but numbers create funds. Same way for shady black government programs, numbers also create funds for other programs too, right? So, you know, most programs that are looking for missing people are good, and they deserve money, they deserve funds. But there are programs out there that are taking advantage of people in bad situations, that are actually missing people, that are counting that person twice.
Sure.
And they're taking the money that is supposed to be going to them. They're taking half of it and saying, yeah, well, we're also looking for that person.
Sure.
Right. But, and we're looking for that person twice. Right. So, that happens. So, yeah, it's.
I'm going to look something up real quick.
Yeah. You know, I mean, fuck, dude. We've talked about missing people quite a bit. You know, we talked about the missing 411 phenomenon. We've, which, you know, now that, like I said, probably going to be kicking the Patreon out the door and focusing on archives, getting back into the solo documentary thing for everybody, because I'm really missing that, and getting the feedback from people, jumping back into the missing 411 eventually. We can dive back into the cave system here in the United States, dive back into the birth of the national park system, dive back into theories of how that system was built. We could talk about how Theodore Roosevelt built or created the Ozarks. You know, when we talked about the Ozark Howler, we talked about the creation or the time spent with the Order of the Hoo-Hoo and the protection of the Ozark Howler, and what that meant to the creation of the national park system. And then when people went missing and what that signified to secret societies within the United States and presidents that were involved in said secret societies, such as the Order of the Hoo-Hoo. There's a lot that we can talk about when it comes to missing people and secret funds and inflated population counts. There's a lot here, a ton here. Kind of interested what you're Googling here, though, my friend.
So Google this. Google 1 million people in a place. Just Google that. 1 million people in a place.
1 million people in a place.
Yep.
Look at an image, I'm guessing.
Yeah, like an image. There's been a couple of events in history where 1 million people showed up. A Metallica concert.
Yeah.
Pretty sure like Obama's inauguration, there was about 1 million people. Okay. So there should be pictures that you can find that just, you know, and who knows if it's exactly 1 million or whatever. There you go. Okay. Boom. Perfect. Click on that.
This one?
Yeah. Any of them. Whatever. Okay. That is a literal, or maybe even the first picture on all the pictures. The very first picture. Go up. I said the first and he scrolls down like a dickhead. Look at that. Okay. That is people basically from horizon to horizon. That's 1 million people. Okay. Packed shoulder to shoulder. Right. Mm-hmm. Now I want you to think they're telling us that 25 million people, so 20 to 25, that many people,
yeah,
live in LA County.
Yeah, but do you know how big LA County is?
Yeah, it's fucking huge. It's fucking huge. It's huge.
It is absolutely huge, and people are packed in there like sardines, dude.
It's not that big, though, right? And what I Googled initially was how many people live in Florida. There's
Jeff,
There's 23.
Jeff,
what,
Jeff? If I could draw a square right here,
mm-hmm.
How many people are in this square?
I don't know, maybe fucking 20 or 50.
Probably 15 to 20. Okay. Yeah, and it ends right here. There's a line of RVs right here. Okay. And yeah, it probably does extend out a little bit right here. And, you know, this may not be an accurate representation of exactly 1 million people. This could be a little bit more. It could be a little less.
Just to give you an idea, though.
Right. Just gives you an idea. Right. But you also got to understand that this, in reality, you have what? So where my mouse is right now, coming down here, that's one normal town block with 4 houses on it.
Here's a better picture. Google 1991 Metallica concert, 1 million people.
That was more than 1 million people, though, wasn't it?
There was about 1 million people there, according to the, what they say. Here's what I Googled, though. I Googled how many people live in the state of Florida. And I got 23.3 million people. I can tell you right now, bro, because me and Crystal just did this the other day. Her and I drove literally like almost the whole fucking length, almost to Georgia. We almost drove the whole fucking length of Florida, okay?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm telling you that there is not 23 times that many people living here.
Yeah, but
it was
most of Florida is rural.
Right.
Most of the population in Florida is on the coast.
Sure. Fair enough.
Where were you driving?
We drove from the coast up to northern central Florida.
Yeah, so you drove through rural Florida.
No, we drove from the coast where most people live through Orlando where most people live up to, rural areas in Florida.
As soon as you got through Orlando, you're in bumfuck nowhere, Florida.
Right. But that kind of is my point. There's not that many people here. And it didn't take us that long to drive that far. Yeah, it's big, but it's not that fucking big, bro. I drove around this country a lot, bro. It's not as big as people think.
Yeah. Man, population density. You got to pay attention to that, right? It's a critical statistic.
I understand.
All right. Certain areas have different population density than others. Like where I grew up in St. Petersburg, Florida, I want to say the population density.
Running a business comes with a lot of what ifs, but luckily there's a simple answer to them. Shopify. It's the commerce platform behind millions of businesses, including Thrive Cosmetics and Momofuku, and it'll help you with everything you need. From website design and marketing to boosting sales and expanding operations, Shopify can get the job done and make your dream a reality. Turn those what-ifs into... Sign up for your $1 per month trial at shopify.com/special offer.
This episode is sponsored by Friskies, who would like to tell your cats hi. Now, if that didn't get your cat's attention, there is one thing that always does the trick. Just pour some Friskies crunchy food in the bowl and you'll hear those paws come running. Works every time. With so many Friskies choices, you can always bring your cats running from their secret napping spots. There's always more to explore. See for yourself at friskies.com or visit your local store.
I'm always looking for ways to show my cat how much I love her. And with Fancy Feast gems, I can pamper her whenever I want with a savory gravy on top of a gourmet mousse pâté. The pyramid shape makes serving simple, so all I have to do is peel and plate to make mealtime feel extra fancy. And with 2 entrees in every pack, it's easy to turn every day into the extraordinary. Fancy Feast gems.
When I was living there, it was like 1,400 people per square mile. It sucked, right? So, let's see. There was, God, what was the name of that fucking website? It was like Best Places, I think it was. Bestplaces.com. Let's see. Nope. Good Places? Let me see. Hold on, I'll find it. Best Places. I think this is it. Let's see. Just trying to get Huh? That's funny. Let's see. Here, let me share. So this is the town I live in, right? Menominee, Wisconsin. Beautiful place, by the way. People stats should have right here. It's got 116 people per square mile. Okay. It's got 25,000 people here living here. But this is the important statistic. 116 people per square mile. Now, of course, it's doing some weird shit. Why is it doing that? What's going on with this? Okay. Let's see. 33710, I think it was. St. Petersburg, Florida. What the hell happened there? 33713. There we go. St. Petersburg. So this is where I grew up in St. Pete, right? This was a coastal town or a coastal city in St. Petersburg in Florida. And people stats. Why is this website doing this? This is stupid. This is really annoying.
Google says that 37.7 million people live in just Tokyo.
I don't doubt it. I don't doubt that. Why is this stupid website doing this?
I doubt it.
Tokyo's so tiny.
This is annoying. Well, all right. I guess we're just going to have to look at the...
Tokyo's population density is 16,300 people per square mile. I don't believe it.
Yeah, so St. Petersburg, Florida has 4,178.7. Tokyo literally has people living in 4x4 pods stacked 20 people tall. Dude, have you ever seen that shit? That's a legitimate thing.
16,000 people per square mile. Dude, a square mile is not that big. It's not that big.
Not. It's not, man. It's not. But that's a legitimate thing in Tokyo. Like, people legitimately live in that shit.
I'm not saying that it's not densely populated. I'm just saying that the numbers they're inflated, is what I'm saying. Is Tokyo one of the densest populated areas in the fucking world? Sure. But it's probably not 16,000 people per square mile. And that's an average.
Look at this. This is New York City.
Sure.
29K per square mile.
That's absurd. That's an absurd amount of people in one tiny little spot.
Yeah. That's I mean, it's there's highly populated places, man.
I'm not arguing that.
It is. I've been to some sickly populated places. I've been to Chicago. I've been to New York City. They're sick. It's disgusting. I've never been to LA. I've flown over LA. I was surprised at how big LA is. It's fucking huge. I never want to go to LA. I'll be fine dying and never stepping foot in LA. Yeah, like, I'll be good. But, so
why am I not getting any of these comments on my Twitch?
I don't know.
Is your video paused?
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know, bro. I'm just saying, but I have a feeling that a lot of the dead internet is to cover up for the fact that there aren't as many people as they tell us that there are, right? Like, 'cause
LA.
we could pull up these numbers, right? We're Googling these numbers, but like, I don't believe the numbers, right? I don't believe the census. I don't think that shit's legit. So even though Google's telling me, hey, man, there's fucking 40 million people living in Tokyo, I just don't believe it, bro. I understand that that's what they say. I understand that we can find pictures that show beautifully colored little, population density charts and this and that, but I can make that shit. I can make that shit right now. So I just don't believe that the numbers are accurate at all.
Manila in the Philippines, highest density population.
Yeah, right.
Manila has 43K per square mile.
That does not seem logical.
The average human being walks like 3 to 4 miles per hour. That means if you go out for a walk and you're an average human being and you walk for an hour, you're going to cover like 3 to 4 miles. That means in a 15-minute walk in one direction, and then you turn and you walk 15 minutes in another direction, that little square that you just created has how many people?
Yeah.
I don't believe it.
When you're in one of these cities, on average, it should have in Manila, because you got to remember, a lot of these cities don't pack people wide; they pack people tall.
I understand.
Right? So you got to remember that.
Let me ask you this: do you think the dead internet theory, like, there's any validity to it?
I do, but I don't disagree. Like, I could see where you're coming from when you say that this has basis in social media websites buffing their numbers, and these could be just remnant accounts, from when they were trying to start out. Makes sense, right? But could these bots be creating other accounts? Could they be multiplying?
They are. Yeah.
And that's could these be the offspring of the remnants of the original bots that were created in order to inflate numbers, to try to get the sponsorships that they wanted? That makes sense, right? But that's what we're dealing with now.
So let me ask you this. This is why I asked if you think there's any validity to the dead internet theory, right? Like, what if you had to put a number? What percentage of the internet do you think is dead internet? Because I'm gonna say 90%, 80 to 90.
I was gonna say 70-ish.
So you are comfortable saying that 70% of the internet is dead internet, but you're not as comfortable saying that same amount of discrepancy applies to the actual physical population. You see where I'm saying? You see where I'm going with this?
Yeah. No. Yeah. I'm in agreement. Yeah. No. I don't think that translates. I don't. I think that I can definitely see the numbers being inflated. I just don't think that they correlate the same. I don't. I think when you're looking,
there's a correlation. I'm not trying to imply that there is a direct correlation between the amount of dead internet versus the amount of fake population. I'm just asking you personally, like, if you're okay with accepting that 70% of the internet is bots and algorithms and AI, and it's just not real interactions. It's just fake. It's just all fake. 70%. How come you're not willing to put a bigger number on the amount of people, not correlated to that, but I'm just, the only correlation.
Now, are you talking NPCs or are you just talking about fake numbers?
What's the difference?
Like, are you talking about like legitimate people that you can put eyes on that just aren't real?
No. I'm just saying, like,
are you talking about fake social security numbers?
Fake social security number, sure. That's a good way to put it, I guess.
Like I said, man, I could totally see 8 million being a number, but I mean, or 8 billion totally not being a real number. But 500 million just seems too small. There's way more than that on this planet.
I just think that it's closer to that number than to 8 billion.
I don't think so.
Right? So saying that 3.5 billion people is closer to 500 million than it is to 8 billion. You see? 3 billion is closer to 500 million than 8 billion. Anything less than 4 billion is closer to 500 million. In fact, anything less than 4.5 billion. So if it's 4.49 billion people, that's closer to 500 million than 8 billion. I'm just saying that the 500 million number is closer to the real number than the number that they tell us. Does that make sense?
I mean, I get what you're saying. I just don't think it's that far off. I don't think that we're cutting it by 50% or more. I just don't.
Fair enough.
I think that if we can get 1 million people to go see a Metallica concert in 1991, I think that there's at least a good amount of people in here, right? I'm population's on decline now. That's a thing. You may be closer to the actual number here in the next 10 years, right? I think we're going to see some real drastic number deductions coming up soon.
Maybe I just have a problem with the numbers that the experts tell us for everything, right? No matter what it is. When they tell us a number, I'm always usually like, nah, they're totally inflating that number, whether it's population or whether it's efficacy percentages or whether it's whatever it is, right? Like they're always overshooting the number.
For good reason.
For
good reason, right? For good reason. You should, you have good reason to not trust the fucking experts, man. Right? You do. And honestly, you could be absolutely correct and I could be dead fucking wrong, and I would not be surprised.
There's no way for us to know because none of us can count that high. Right.
right.
But,
I mean, dude, I absolutely would not be surprised. I'm not a professional fucking counter, man. I'm not a fucking mathematician, not a population petition, whatever, I don't know, man, dude. I don't do this shit for a living. I'm not out there doing the census. I'm not a census specialist. I don't do this shit, right? But just with what I've seen flying over crowds of people, I don't know, man. I know what a butt fuck ton of people look like from the sky flying around in the 860 helicopter, and flying over like Panama City Beach in spring break. I know that looks like a butt ton of fucking people. That's got to be pretty damn close to a shit ton of people. And that's only, a bunch of kids on spring break. So, I just know that there's a lot more motherfuckers out there in the United States. And yeah, I know there's a lot of people here. That's all I gotta say. And if they say it's 8 million or 8 billion, sure, whatever. I don't really care about numbers. I don't really, I don't know, man. It doesn't bother me. I don't fucking care. It bothers me that people will make money off of it, or certain stupid shadow programs will make money off of it. That's stupid. And if I knew which ones were, I'd fight it. I'd probably take it more seriously then.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, the only reason I really brought it up was because I feel like there is a connection there from dead internet. It is interesting to me that so much of the internet is fake, and it's obviously fake. I mean, fuck, dude. I used to joke about this before I came up there and actually met you in person. I remember I used to be like, I don't even know if you guys are real.
Yeah, and we may not be.
And that was half the reason that I went up there. Obviously, I wanted to meet you guys because we've been doing this podcast for a couple of years. But the other half of me was like, man, I got to check if these motherfuckers are actually real. Am I living in the Truman Show? You know?
Yeah. Well, I mean, we may not be. I could be an NPC.
You could be.
I could be. I could be an AI, that doesn't know what the fuck he's talking about.
Right. Well, I would say that we're all technically AI because I do believe that we live in a holographic simulated universe. So,
I mean, could be. I mean, we didn't even get to talk about that. So, yeah, we opened up with NPCs and sim theory and never got to talk about it. But,
well, we haven't hung up yet, so don't be so sad.
No, we haven't. Well, how do we connect these two? Let's see.
I used to be a warrior like you, and then I took an arrow to the knee. Name that reference. First person to name that reference gets a prize.
If it's from a movie, bro, I'm not going to tell you.
It's not a fucking movie, Jeremy. Oh my God. I got to get another beverage real quick. Give me 30 seconds while somebody puts the reference in the chat.
Yeah, somebody chat that reference. Chat it. Do the thing, chat. They're not doing the thing, Jeffrey.
I used to be an adventurer like you, and I took an arrow in the knee.
I don't know what he's talking about. It's probably a movie.
Nobody?
Didn't you just say it's not a movie?
Nobody? It's not a movie.
It's probably a movie.
I'll give you a hint. It's a video game.
Oh. Elder Scrolls.
Which one?
Yeah, I didn't know there was more than one.
You're almost there.
You were so close.
Skyrim, Jesus Christ.
Skyrim.
First NPC that you come across when you start playing the game.
Yeah. The guy in the cart.
No, it's not the guy in the cart. It's after that little scene. So maybe it's not the first NPC.
So
it's the first NPC you see once you have access to just free roaming the world. You come across
fun story. I have tried to start that game 4 times and have not got past the cart.
Why?
I don't know, man.
It's such a good game. It's like one of the greatest games of all time.
I've heard it's a good game. I don't know, man. I just I don't know.
Fun fact, I've made it through the cart part probably 20 times. I've played that game so many times, made so many different characters, and played so many different lives in that world that I could literally fucking play that entire first scene with my eyes closed.
Man, I've seen clips of that game and it looks fun. Like I'm totally into dragons and stuff, man. It looks like a blast. Like look, I got the Snallygaster right here. Little dragon-like guy right there.
You played Fallout, right?
Yeah.
Did you know it's the same universe?
Fallout and Skyrim?
Yeah.
No.
Some people would automatically hear that and think that Skyrim was the past and Fallout was the future. It's opposite. Fallout was the past. After the nuclear Armageddon happened, you have all the ghouls and all the mutants and all that stuff. Thousands of years later, you have the dragons and the wizards and all that shit. The mutations just kept going. And, it's like you went.
Ryan Reynolds here from Mint Mobile. With the price of just about everything going up, we thought we'd bring our prices down. So to help us, we brought in a reverse auctioneer, which is apparently a thing.
Mint Mobile Unlimited Premium Wireless. How to get 30, 30, bit to get 30, bit to get 20, 20, 20, bit to get 20, 20, bit to get 15, 15, 15, 15, just $15 a month? Sold!
Give it a try at mintmobile.com/switch.
Upfront payment of $45 for 3-month plan, equivalent to $15 per month required. New customer offer for first 3 months only. Speed slow after 35 gigabytes if network's busy. Taxes and fees extra. See mintmobile.com.
It's back to school season and Clorox is donating 2 million disinfecting wipes to classrooms across America. Because back to school means things can get a little bit messy. Just ask second grade teacher Mr. Torres.
Put me and just one Clorox wipe on a team? We can take on crayon smudges, sticky fingerprints on every surface, sneezes on the door handle, juice box explosion by the sink, snack crumbs, and don't even get me started on the bathroom passes.
Clorox Disinfecting Wipes, teacher's #1 wipe.
Think about it. Bathroom passes.
Clean feels good. Based on unit sales data.
This episode is brought to you by Hyundai. Get into the Hyundai Getaway Sales Event and get away with a deal so right, it almost feels wrong. Because right now, you can save big on their most popular models, including SUVs like the Hyundai Santa Fe and Santa Fe Hybrid, and the all-electric Ioniq 5 and Ioniq 6. The Hyundai Getaway Sales Event. Visit HyundaiUSA.com. Offers end September 2nd, 2025.
Back in time, but it's forward in time. It's interesting. Anyways.
I'll Google this later.
Go ahead.
I'll Google it later. Fallout always seemed like a cool game. Like I've played Fallout a little bit.
You know, you can do like cryptid hunting in Fallout.
And that's, that's Fallout 76, right?
Yeah,
that's the one in
76.
West Virginia. I really did try to get into that game. I don't know, man. I can't get into the video games very much.
I got attacked by Mothman in that game, and it terrified me. I was like, "What the fuck is that?"
Yeah, no, Mothman was scary.
Yeah.
I kicked ass at that game.
Yeah, it sounds like a fun game. It sounds like
really fun
if I invested time into it, I'd be able to do it. But I was like, you know what? I started playing. I was like, I'm just gonna go read a book.
Kid says they are the same universe, and she's playing Fallout 4 right now. Good for you, kid. Fallout 5's coming out. They just greenlit Fallout 5.
Did they?
Yep.
Maybe I'll play Fallout 5.
This fucking guy.
What? What's wrong with that?
Just gonna miss. You're just gonna skip 6 games of lore.
Yeah.
All
I
right.
watched the TV show. It was cool.
No.
It was good show.
That's like me telling you the 3 Body Problem show was incredible, and then you being like, you have to read the book, bro. Like,
bro, the book was good.
Right?
The books were good.
The other 6 Fallout games are good.
Well,
the show was good.
The show was good. The show was really
The show
good.
was good. So yeah, NPCs, man. I know a few. I run into them a lot.
Man, I'll tell you, I think out of the entire concept of the simulation theory, the best evidence for it is the concept of NPCs. I really do. Because I think once you start paying attention to NPCs and you're aware of them and the possibility of them existing and what to look for, you start noticing.
There was this video, and I don't know if it's a fake video or not, but it's a few years old. There was a chick sitting in her car, and she was looking in her rearview mirror, and I think she was in her driveway or something. And she pointed out it was like a red car or something drove by, right? Or it might have been a dude. I don't even remember. It was a long time ago. Anyways, somebody was sitting in their car, and they're like, "Look," they were like, "Watch, there's going to be a red car that goes by," and then a red car went by, and he was like, "Now there's going to be a dude jogging going the other way." Dude jogging. Then there's going to be an old lady with a stroller. Old lady with a stroller. And he just kept, and he's like, I've been sitting in my car for X amount of time just watching this. What the fuck is going on?
I would have lost my fucking shit, dude. I would have lost it, man. No.
Nobody pays attention to that kind of stuff anymore because we're all so distracted by everything, right? So, but yeah, I would like to do that one day. I would like to make that like an experiment that I do. Go find a place and sit down and just really take note of like who and what is happening, and just see like if there is this cyclical pattern of these NPCs just doing their thing. Yeah. Oh yeah, Mike is an NPC. There's an NPC in our neighborhood. It's this guy that just walks around every time I look outside.
Well, you got to understand that there's a difference between NPCs and people who just did a lot of drugs when they were young. Okay.
I mean, hey, I did that, but I'm not an NPC. All right.
there's a difference. we all know that person that just fried their fucking brain out.
Kid says, have you ever seen your neighbors bring in their groceries? No. No, I haven't.
No. But oh shit. So there's another one too. Right? That's a good point, kid. That's a good point. Have you ever seen your fucking neighbors bringing their groceries? No. Not ever have I ever.
Nope.
But there's another one. And I saw a fucking a video of somebody fucking whatevering this, right? Debunking this. And it didn't make fucking sense. But like in the comments, they're like, yeah, good, because I knew this was bullshit. You ever fucking heard the thing about the buses? The width of buses?
Oh yeah.
It's like a portal.
Mm-hmm.
Dude. Look at the width of the lane on the road. Right? A two-lane street, 4 lanes total, 2 going this way, 2 going the other way. Now, stand in the middle of that one of those lanes in the road. Put your arms out. Okay? You're like, okay, cool. I could probably go from the white dotted line to the yellow solid line, right? Now put yourself in a fucking bus and do the same thing. Could your fingers come anywhere close to those walls?
You know, I have firsthand experience with this. I don't know if you remember this, Jeremy, but when you and I met online here and I started being in this podcast with you, I was living in an RV.
Yes. I remember
and
that.
I can tell you for sure that when I was inside that RV, I used to think about this all the time. Like, bro, how does this thing fit on the road?
It's so much wider than our cars.
And then I drive around town and I'm behind an RV and I'm like, it's not much wider than my car, which I can easily touch both doors of inside of.
Yeah.
But when I was inside the RV, I'd be like, what the fuck, dude? Like,
yeah, this guy who was debunking this took a fucking tape measure, went inside. He's like, look, man, it's fucking 8 feet, blah, blah, blah. And he goes outside. He's like, look, man, it's fucking 9 feet. Look, you guys are just fucking idiots. And I'm like, dude, fuck you. Okay. That's fucking with your perception. You're a dipshit.
The simulation is tweaking its programming when somebody goes to measure it. It's like the what do you call it? The fucking like some Schrodinger's cat type thing or something, you know?
It's some fucked up shit, man. Like I got goosebumps right now just talking about this shit, man. Like I seriously do. And like think about it, man. Some buses, okay, if you're sitting in a fucking car or a truck or a fucking Blazer, right? One of the fucking Tahoes or whatever. You're sitting a person in a bucket seat up front and a person in a bucket seat in the passenger seat. And usually have enough room if there was a seat to sit in like one of those captain chairs in the middle, right? And if it was a bench. But some of those buses can sit 3 fucking people on one seat and then an aisle with 3 more people in another fucking seat on the other side of the aisle. How the fuck is that? How the fuck does that happen, man?
You really want your mind blown? Go next time you're like scrolling.
No, I don't. No, I don't.
Next time next time you're scrolling through random videos on the internet, like specifically search RVs, okay? Because I'm telling you, bro, and they've been coming up on my feed a lot because I'm actually thinking about trying to get one soon, right? I'm going to use that Bitcoin to get one, get wrecked. But some of these RVs, bro, they have like full-size kitchens with residential-size refrigerators, dishwashers, huge fucking farmhouse sinks, an island in the middle in the kitchen, right? A king-size bed in the bedroom with enough room to walk around it, and a closet and a washer dryer in there. And I'm thinking that doesn't fit. That does not fit.
Mm-hmm.
And yet.
Just watch some of those videos and look at the insides when they're like walking around. Like, look how beautiful this RV is. And just look at it. Would you look at it? And you'll be like, no way. No way.
Yeah, man. I don't know, man. I just got to comment. Crystal and Kenza are having, they're conversating about the OUs and stuff. Just so you know, that's British That's like English. I only know that because I had to look it up because I read a whole series of books from a UK author that did a whole bunch of shit like that. And I was like,
Is that like aluminium?
I just forgot that Canadians do it too.
Is that like aluminium versus aluminum?
I don't know.
This is why we won the war. Just saying.
Oh man, but yes, one of my favorite Rick and Morty episodes is the Parmesan universe. Oh, it's so funny. Love it. You guys don't watch Rick and Morty? No.
I've watched some of it.
Parmesan. Well, there's one weird thing about this universe. What's that? They say Parmesan weird. What do they say? Parmesan. Oh, fuck, Rick. Really? I love it. I don't know, man.
Kinzer says, yeah, us Canadians use British English. Well, there's your fucking problem. Fucking communists.
Anyways. Parmesan didn't land. Anyways. Yeah, no, the bus thing I think that's like one of the big mind blowers, man. It just, whenever I think about it, and then people like when I see that, every once in a while I'll see it posted on like X or something, and I'll read through the comments, and then I'll see people will post comments being like, you guys are fucking idiots. And I'll be like, that's dead internet right there. Right there. That's dead internet trying to start shit right there. Yep. Right there. Motherfucker, found you. And then all the people are like, yeah, dude, fuck that shit. That shit's fucking wild. Those are all real people. All of them. Any fucking motherfucker in there that's like, no, all you guys are just fucking dumb. That's all dead internet trying to start shit.
Yep.
Yep.
Literally. I believe that.
Fuck them.
Fuck them.
Fuck them.
That's funny, dude. That's funny, dude.
Yeah. No, that guy, he took a fucking tape measure in there and he's like, look, man, I'm going to measure this for you. And I was like, dude, this guy's going to go in there with a fucking tape measure. Are you fucking kidding me? Like, stop it.
He probably got a broken tape measure, dude.
Like, do you not understand that you're stepping into a whole world inside that bus that is like outside of your perception of understanding? like, do you not understand? Like, yeah.
You know another crazy one is trains. You ever seen the inside of a train?
Like I've been in trains, but hold on. Let me see where you're going with this.
It's the same concept. When you look at the size of the train tracks, they're not that wide. When you go inside a train, dude, they got fucking rooms with beds in there. Same thing where you could have 4 to 6 people easily sitting across with an aisle.
Yeah, but they hang over. Like they hang over.
Not by much.
True. I mean, I can't say that I'm too familiar with that though.
The bus one's easier to comprehend because we all drive around on roads. Not everybody gets on trains, but
right. That's an everyday thing. That's in your fucking face. Like you can't get around that shit.
Yeah. But the same thing applies for trains. Like I'm telling you, next time you see a train or you're like near a train track, just like walk up to the train track and just look at it for a second and then like think about it.
It's got to be a compartment thing. Like you're inside of something and it's got to mess up like some sort of perception. I don't know, man.
But they have trains that are like hotels that have a room on one side, like a whole estate room on one side, like a hotel room, a big ass aisle, and then another one on the other side.
Yeah.
It's like a 2-person suite with a full king size bed.
Yep.
And you still have room where you can't reach wall to wall.
Yep.
So how does that math?
How does that math?
Literally. Yeah, no, it's a portal. You're stepping into a portal of some kind. I don't know what the deal is with it, but yeah, it's
weird, man. And it's like, I don't know, man. The people who take a tape measure and are like, look, we're going to measure the outside of this bus. And it's like, bam, it's 8 feet. And then they go in the inside and they're like, look, dumbass, it's also 8 feet. And you're like, listen, dumbass, you're just not understanding what I'm talking about. Like, don't be stupid. So
Is 8 feet. The inside would be 8 feet because there's be that layering in the inside for safety features. So that naphtha wouldn't.
Yeah, I'm telling you, you're stepping through a portal or
So
something.
if it's 8 feet on the outside, it's physically impossible for it to be 8 feet on the inside because you have material.
I mean, it's on a bus, it's pretty thin, right? It's sheet metal. It's not like the world's thickest insulated material, right? RV, yeah. There's probably some pretty good insulation there on an RV. And the difference isn't crazy big, right? We're not talking 10 feet, but it's enough to be perceived, right? So whoever designed the simulation fucked up. Right? It's definitely a design flaw.
It's a pocket dimension, bro. Buses are pocket dimensions.
That's a good way to look at it. Yeah, that's not a bad that's not a bad comparison. That's a good one. I like that. Yeah.
You're welcome.
Yeah. Totally the lamest pocket dimension ever, but yeah. Like, come on, man, let's jump in my pocket dimension. Let's get high. I got black lights in my pocket dimension. Come on.
Go look at tiny house bus conversions. Same thing. You're gonna be like, how the fuck is there a whole kitchen in here, a king size bed, bro? Like,
oh, I've seen some cool ass fucking bus conversions. Katie's my wife's childhood friend, did a bus conversion, and I've caught pictures of it a couple times in our relationship, like on Katie's Facebook and stuff, and that was pretty cool.
That fits in a lane, apparently.
Yeah, I don't know if it's mobile. I think it's stationary. I'm not sure.
It still fits in a lane. It still fits in a lane.
Yeah. If it was, yeah. But, anyways, the reason why I wanted to bring up the sim theory wasn't necessarily because of buses, but it was more along the lines of NPCs, right? It's just sometimes, man, I can't remember what it was. I should have wrote it down. I got to get better at this. But I had a run-in with somebody. I remember it had to do. I was at Walmart, and where else would you have a fucking run-in with an NPC? Of course, it'd be at Walmart. I can't remember exactly what it was. I just remember like I was at Walmart, and I was there to get
side quest.
I was specifically there to get
a side quest.
Yeah. I was getting cleaner for my tractor's battery terminals. And I was like, I had some sort of something with somebody. And I was like, that's a fucking NPC. And what was it?
They were like, I used to be an adventurer like you.
Oh, yeah, that's right. So I went to the car battery section because I was looking for battery terminal cleaner, or like, something I could spray on it and kind of clean it with a steel brush. And this guy who had a Walmart vest on or whatever, he was just standing there he was like right in the corner in the auto section where the batteries are. And there were these pegs on the wall where, there was just a bunch of different little things having to deal with cars, gator clips for multimeters and stuff. And there was a couple cans of spray that were right there in front of them. And I was like, I bet you one of those sprays is what I need, because they're right there next to the batteries. And I'm like, excuse me, sir. Excuse me, sir. Excuse me. Hey, bud. Hey, man. Hey. All right. Fuck. Okay. So I'm like looking around him, and I'm like, shit. I'm like, are you all right? Hey. And I'm like looking around. I'm like, is there anybody else here? Like, what the fuck is going on here? There's nobody else around me. And I'm like, holy shit. And I'm like, I'm looking around for like just any signs of anything moving, like anything. Like, this is like the moment where, like, if I was outside, I'd be looking at the trees to see if the leaves are moving. Like, it was like that kind of moment in my life. Like, the time freeze? Like, what's going on here? And I'm like, shit. So I walked out like towards the electronics section, and then I seen a woman at the counter in the electronics section, and she was doing inventory or something. I was like, oh, okay, good. So then I walked back, and he was gone. I was like, that's fucking weird, dude. That was weird, because I like started yelling, like trying to get his attention, like, hey man, you good? Are we all right here? Like,
then he turns to look at you slowly, and he says, "You must walk the 10,000 steps of High Rothgar to meet with the Greybeards."
And I was like, is that from a movie?
It's from Skyrim. It's also from Skyrim. Jesus Christ.
And I'd be like, because I don't watch movies, man. I don't watch movies. And he'd be like, yeah, it's...
What does every USAA member have in common? Family. We're one big family who supports the military community and their eligible families. And if you, your parent, or spouse served, you could join our family and save big on auto insurance. Visit USAA.com/join today to check your eligibility. Membership eligibility and product restrictions apply and are subject to change. USAA means United Services Automobile Association and its affiliates, San Antonio, Texas.
Hey, it's Paris. You know I love sparkly things, right? Like stars. Duh. And thanks to Hilton and AutoCamp, I just slept under them. Picture me, serving looks by the fire outside my luxurious Airstream, making s'mores with the kids, while a national park is our backdrop. The great outdoors meets Hilton hospitality. That's hot. Explore all the new ways to stay at Hilton.com. Hilton for the stay.
Whether your business has 6 floors or 6 employees, Walmart Business has everything you need to save time, money, and hassle. You can restock your break room with bulk ordering or bulk up your ordering team with shared payments. And you can get it all delivered straight to your business's door, whether that's on Wall Street or Main Street. Walmart Business. It's the Walmart you love, now for your business. Learn more at business.walmart.com.
From a movie. I'm like, all right, yeah, I didn't get that. But my name's Jeremy. Nice meeting you. But I need to see what's in front of you. Sure enough, where he was standing was exactly what I needed. So I was pretty damn convinced that I had a run-in with an NPC.
Or maybe he was deaf.
But you know how like you come across those moments in games where it's like, man, you can't get past this part until you unlock another portion of the game. Like you have to achieve this other thing, right? Maybe I just needed to see that lady counting the pop-it things for the back of their phone, like these things, right?
Could have been. It was just like pre-programmed, like,
right?
Yeah.
Maybe I needed that achievement. So I got my pop-it achievement, and then I walked back, and that path was clear, and I got my shit. And I checked out, and I was able to find out that it wasn't my battery that was my problem on my tracker.
Or maybe he just hated his job, and he heard you, and he was just like, "Fuck this guy, bro! Like I'm not." It's like if I don't move, he can't see me.
I mean, he does work at Walmart, so like.
If I don't move, it won't see me.
You know, man, I thought of a bunch of different things. Like the dude did have long hair, and like part of me was thinking like. Part of me was like, maybe he just had earpods in, man, and he just didn't hear me. Like, maybe I should have tapped him on the shoulder, but I was like, man, maybe I don't want to do that because maybe this dude's going to turn around and punch me in the face. I don't know. Right. So I was like, so I didn't do it. But then again, maybe I was just trapped in my little spot in the video game where I was supposed to go do something different. So
that's funny.
Yeah.
That's pretty funny.
I'm happy I remember that though. But that's why I'm happy I remembered that because that was a couple weeks ago, and I wanted to talk about that. I'm happy we got that out. That was a good story.
Most of the guys I work with are NPCs.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, 100%. Or they're just retarded. I don't know. But
yeah. most of the guys I work with are actually good dudes, man. You can see the gears ticking when they're thinking.
That's good, man.
I can't say that for all my interactions that I have in life. But the guys I work with, the guys that I'm responsible for, at least. Great.
Well, when you meet Kid, I need verification that Kid is a real human.
I will let you know.
Cool.
I can verify Skeeter. Skeeter's a real
I was
human.
there. I met Skeeter.
Oh yeah, you did. You did.
Yeah,
Okay,
I
yeah.
was there.
Skeeter's a real human. I will let you know about Kid. I'll let you know. If you believe that I'm a real human.
Well,
I could be the NPC.
I came up there and met you.
You met me. You met my avatar.
Dear God.
I was blue. I had a tail, and I lived on Pandora.
You know that, but you don't
I
know
knew it.
Star Wars references?
I knew it because I have kids, and I was forced to watch the movie.
Well, force your kids to watch Star Wars.
No, because I also fell asleep during Avatar.
Oh, for the love of God, Jeremy.
Yeah.
Why don't you just put on Star Wars and put the subtitles on? It's like reading a book.
No, because I'll just read a book and work on the podcast.
All right. Well, I tried, everybody.
Dude, man, I wish that I had the attention span to sit and watch a sci-fi movie that didn't have to deal with horror. I wish I did. But I like horror movies, man. And that's what I watch. I watch sci-fi horror, or I watch some kind of mindfuckery movies. I like that kind of stuff. I can watch that stuff. It keeps my attention. I can't just watch, sci-fi adventure, brother fuck sister kind of thing out in the middle of space. I can't watch that.
Someone's attention.
It's Jeremy we're talking about here.
We sat in the living room like a year and a half ago and watched all of them.
Yeah, we did.
In succession.
We watched all of them.
Yeah, I'd sleep through all of them. I could do it. I could probably do it.
I'll just jack you up with a bunch of caffeine and then put one of the movies on. That way you can't fall asleep.
We'll just be waking you up if you start to fall asleep.
We're going to pin your eyes up. We're going to stick you in the Montauk chair and we're going to fucking peel your eyelids back.
And then you're going to give me Coke. And then my eyes are going to be peeled open. And then I'm going to start snoring. I'm going to be like...
Because if you let yourself relax, you can't breathe. So you have to stay like this.
Pro-strength chair.
I got sleep
Get you
apnea.
a jail chair. You'll stay awake.
Oh, did I ever tell you I was in the Navy?
And we'll put a spit mask on them too.
Bro, I've slept in some weird fucking places.
You've slept in a pro-strength chair?
I've slept in some weird fucking places. I also have sleep apnea, so I sleep with a mask on my face. I can sleep in some weird situations. You'd be surprised.
I won't let you fall asleep.
I'm a champ.
So you are Darth Vader.
Yeah. Oh, dude, you have no idea. It's awesome. It is awesome. I die without my mask, and I still sleep. Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Yep. Even while fully entertained by Star Wars and all of the Spocks in the world.
How would you know? You've not watched them.
That's true. That's true.
Oh, I can't with this guy. I want a milkshake.
Dude, I would also like a milkshake. I got to go back to work tonight.
Gross.
That sucks.
Yeah, I got to go back to work for a few hours. But all right, let's hang her up so that we can hammer out some details with what we have lined up and try to get some things worked out so that all of our listeners can also enjoy the things that we've been enjoying.
Okay.
Okay. All right, everybody. Well, this was a special live broadcast of Friday Night Infinite Rabbit Hole, which will be brought to you on Monday morning.
Brought to you by Pfizer.
Not brought to you by Pfizer. Brought to you by portal buses everywhere. Take that as you will. Could be kinky, could not be. It's up to you. How do you want it? I like mine with black lights. You take yours how you want. Anyways. I'm Jeremy. This is the Infinite Rabbit Hole. That's Jeffrey. He has a headphone on his forehead. We'll see you in the next fork of the path of the Infinite Rabbit Hole. Bye, everybody.
Adios. Farewell, travelers.
Hey, everybody. Thanks for checking out the Infinite Rabbit Hole podcast. If you're looking for more of our stuff, head on over to infiniterabbithole.com, where you can find links to all the podcast players that we are available on, and even our video platforms such as TikTok and YouTube. While you're there, make sure to check out all the links for our socials and hit that follow so you know when all the new stuff from our podcast comes out. And until next time, travelers, we'll see you right here in the next fork in the path of the Infinite Rabbit Hole. Bye.